Hello and welcome. You tune into bnsn now with me, Ankita Saxena, and with me is Kanishka Sarkar. And in the next 1 hour, we'll get all your stock-specific questions answered by our experts. But before we start taking in your questions, let's take stock of how the market is shaping up. Kanishka, we have given up all the gains that we saw. We saw a good rally yesterday. In fact, a good start to the week. But today we have given up all those gains. In fact, on the Nifty, we are hovering around the day's lows. In fact, towards the previous session's closing range is where we are trading at.
Absolutely, Ankita. And like you mentioned, we did start also on a decent note today as well. But now we have slipped to the red territory during today's session. We did touch an intraday high of that 24,690 levels, but we're way off that level, trading about 0.1% lower at the 24,550 level. Sensex 2 is failing, seeing a similar kind of downtrend. It's at that 80,500 odd level. Nifty Bank is among the major, indices which is facing maximum pressure, down about 0.5% at that 55,200 level. Now, taking a look at which are the major counters that are contributing to these losses. In the Nifty pack, we have Bajaj Finance down about 2%, Grasim, Eternal, Hindalco. These are the counters that are contributing to the most losses. However, the ones that are holding up well, these include Maruti Suzuki, which is up about 2.5%, Hero MotoCorp about 2%, Tech Mahindra, M&M, Tata Steel. All these are the top Nifty 50 gainers. The NSE advance decline ratio, that, however, continues to remain in the favor of advances as of now. Now, if we take a look at the sectoral trend, Nifty Auto, Media, IT, Energy, Pharma and Metal, and a bit of FMCG as well. These are the ones that are holding on to gains. Major sectors are still in the green, but overall we have turned negative when it comes to the Nifty. In terms of top sectoral losers, Nifty Realty is the one leading losses, followed by Nifty FinServ and Nifty Bank. So that's how the sectoral trend is looking like. But if we take a look at specific stocks, a lot of stock specific action coming in. First up, let's talk about Wipro, which has announced the successful completion of a large scale cloud ERP system, and the stock is was trading higher earlier. Now, Bata India, that, however, is down after it reported its result yesterday, and net profit that has declined by 70% on a year-on-year basis. So that's the kind of downtick. About 2% lower is how Bata India is trading right now. Meanwhile, a couple of defense counters like Bharat Dynamics, that is going to report its reported results later today, and it is facing some pressure. HAL too is going to report its results. While on a year-on-year basis, it could be a decent quarter. However, profit is going to take a hit, and sequentially, it's likely going to be a very weak quarter for HAL. So that's how the market is largely shaping up. We are off the day's highs and trading nearly at the day's lows point. Ankita.
Well, absolutely. That's how the market breadth is shaping up to be. A lot of individual stock movers, and that has been the construct of the market for a while now. But let me get on board our guests now. Lakshmikant Shukla, technical analyst, institutional research, ES Securities, and we have Shahina Mukaddam, who's an independent analyst. Thank you so much. Good morning to both of you. Thank you for joining us. Before we start taking the questions, let's have some color on the market. Shahina, let me come to you for this one. We have been trading in a certain range. There have been very stock-specific action. Nothing much is really happening as far as the frontline indices or the large caps are concerned. How should one look at this market? Because one question that everyone has is, how should one really play the market at this juncture?
See, there's so many uncertainties, and both positive and negative. We just heard, the tariffs is the biggest overhang, and we hear that there has been, another 3 months leeway given to China in terms of their, the tariffs going up for them. Russia, US talks are going on. We don't know what that implication will be. Hopefully, it will be positive for India. So we'll all have to wait and see. There's uncertainty. At the same time, the inflows for mutual funds is quite good. So while we have some bit of selling coming in from FIs, the DIs are buying. I think this will give support unless there's some real, major negative news and we are hit by that 50% tariffs. I think the market will continue to be in its consolidation phase.
Okay, so that's the view coming in. The markets are likely to be in that consolidation phase. But now let's get to all the queries then. Now, requesting our viewers to share your stock-related queries on WhatsApp. The number is flashing on your screen. Ping us and get investment analysis on your holdings and tips for fresh buys in the market. So write to us ASAP. Don't forget to mention your stock name, your name as well, your holding time horizon, and your specific stock queries. So let's get started with all the queries then. So first query we have coming from S. Ganesan, who's writing to us from Chennai. He's a senior citizen. He wants, Shahina, if you could help us with your take on Adani Power and Jio Financial. What is your expectation from these particular stocks in the long run? How do you see them performing going forward?
These stocks are likely to do good going forward. Geo, basically, I would believe that their mutual fund segment is growing pretty well. And in terms of valuation, also, I think it is quite attractively placed. You had some promoter increase in stake also recently. All these things are positive. In terms of Adani Power, they are actually doing well both in terms of renewable energy as well as in terms of their existing business. I would say both of them look decent for the medium to longer term.
All right, so that's the view coming in for Adani Powers and Jio Financials. This is the second question that's being asked by Sarthak from Chennai. He says he's a fan of the program. Thank you so much, Sarthak, for watching Buy Now Sell Now. He says that he would like a view on Manappuram Finance. Manappuram Finance, let me come to you, Lakshmikant, for Manappuram Finance. What would be your view for, say, another 12 months, 1 year period?
Good morning to you all, and thank you for calling me in your show. So, Manappuram is looking attractive at current levels also, and it has, after few days of decline, it has found support from its 20-day SMA levels, which is placed around the zone of 240 to 243. So that would be the upcoming support levels. So I think from here on we could see upside momentum toward the levels of 280 to 285 zone. So that would be the upcoming hurdle. Once it surpasses this level, then we could see some more upside momentum toward the levels of 300. So I think till it hold up the levels of 240, we will remain positive and we could see higher momentum toward the levels of 280 than 300.
All right, so those are the levels to track as far as Manappuram Finance is concerned. But moving on to our next query then. This is coming from Murli Prasad, who's writing from Greater Noida. He has Adani Green, 30 shares at a price of 1440 rupees and Bandhan Bank at a price of 225 rupees. He has 225 shares of Bandhan Bank at a price of 316 rupees. He's been holding them both since April 2024 and April 2022. Please advise whether he should exit at the current juncture. Lakshmikant, you want to take this one?
See, talking about Bandhan Bank, this stock has seen a roller coaster ride in previous sessions, and now it has slipped below its bearish crossover, which is seen on the daily chart from the levels of from the moving averages of 20 and 50 DMA. So I think if it break the levels of 160, that would be the immediate support for the Bandhan Bank. Then we could see further selling pressure in this stock toward the levels of 145 to 140 range. So that would be the next upcoming support levels if it break the levels of 160. So our view will remain bearish till it hold to the levels of 185. If somehow if it able to cross the levels of 185, then after we could see buying momentum in this stock, and then after it could move higher toward the levels of 180 to 185. So I think till it hold below this level, we will be negative and break the levels of 160. Then further correction is possible toward the levels of 140.
That's the view coming in on Bandhan Bank. Let me get another question in then. This question is coming in from Andhra Pradesh. Richie is writing in. He says he holds SBI. He wants to know the price levels at which he can exit. So Lakshmikant, I'll have to come to you for this one. What are the levels that he can exit SBI? He's not written his buying price though, but if you could tell us the exit levels.
In yesterday's sessions, SBI has seen a strong breakout, and it has also been consolidation breakout with the formation of bullish candle So now we expect that this upside move will extend higher toward the levels of 845 to 850 zone. So that would be the appropriate level from one can exit. And strong support is seen near the levels of 790, where its 200 DMA is placed. And when we are seeing positive crossover in the MACD. So overall upside momentum will trigger once it crosses the levels of 845 to 850. So I think if she is a trader, then she can book profit near the levels of 850. And if somebody want to hold it more, then we could see further upside move toward the levels of 880 to 900. So that would be the medium term target for the SBI Bank.
All right, so those are the levels to track as far as SBI is concerned. But China, let me come to you now. This is Arjun writing from Kolkata. He wants your view on the metal pack, specifically on Hindustan Copper. He wants to know, are current levels good to enter? He wants to remain invested for a period of about 8 months to 1 year. So if we could get your view on Hindustan Copper and the metal space as a whole.
Space as of now, I believe Tata Steel does look good because while they have been reducing their debt, also steel prices are quite stable. So I would say Tata Steel as of now looks good. Hindustan Copper, yes, even into Hindustan Copper, if he is wanting to get into Hindustan Copper, it's better to get in at little lower levels because I think in the shorter term we are seeing some margins on the overall copper sector and even Hindustan Copper being a bit weak. But if he wants to get in, he can get in closer to about 200, 215 type of levels.
Right, moving on to the next question then. This one's coming in. From Bangalore by Kalyani. She says she has 40 shares of Tata Tech. She's bought it at a buying price of 970 rupees. She wants to know if she should add more, hold on to it, or she should be selling out as far as Tata Tech is concerned. So basically, she wants to know, she's bought it at 970. Clearly, she's sitting at a loss. What should she be doing with Tata Tech? Lakshmikant, what would be your advice?
The Tata Tech has been moving in the downtrend, and 2 days before it has given consolidation breakdown to the levels of 700, and then after we have seen a bearish candle on the weekly chart also. So overall sentiment looks bearish, and if it gives the decisive breakdown to the levels of 650, then further correction could be possible in the stock toward the levels of 620. So I think one should exit from this stock if it reaches its upcoming support of 650. So I think the stock has been trending lower. So from our side, our view will be remain bearish till it hold to the levels of 700.
Okay, so that's the view coming on Tata Tech, an exit call coming from Lakshmikant. But another query for you, Lakshmikant, this is Rajesh. He wants your view on Biocon. If you could suggest a target price for Biocon for the next 3 months. He's been holding about 3,000 shares at an average price of 370. So what is your view? What could the stock look like in a period of 3 months?
After 7 to 8 days of straight decline, now in today's sessions, Biocon has been forming a bullish candlestick pattern. And if it able to reclaim the levels of 200 DMA, which is placed around the zone of 355, so we think that it could extend this pullback move toward the levels of 375 to 380. So that would be the upcoming target. But for that, it need to reclaim the levels of 355 on daily basis, and if it able to hold sustain above this, then we could see further extension of this pullback move toward the levels of 370 to 375. So that would be the expected target which we are witnessing on daily scale.
Coming in on Biocon, but let's move on to the next question. This is Sri, who's writing in from Bengaluru. Sri says that he wants your view on Bharat Dynamics. 200 shares he's holding at a buying price of 1,900 rupees. He says, what should be what is your should he average in at current level, or what should he be doing? Should he be holding it for a longer period of time? Shaina, Bharat Dynamics, this one's coming out with its results today, and also the stock has done very well in the last 6 odd months. It's given returns of almost 30-odd%. In the last 1 month, we've seen that correction coming in, obviously because these defense names have run up so much. At this juncture, what should he be doing, because he's clearly sitting at a loss right now?
Yeah, actually, the thing is, he's bought it at a slightly higher price, and valuations are expensive. So if there is any, disappointment in the numbers, then the stock takes a correction. If you see valuations, EV by EBITDA is about 50 times, and price to book is 18 times. But at the same time, I think revenues, while they may show good growth, margins will remain under pressure. So if he wants to buy or add further, then he should buy it at dips. But I think for the long term, it is the overall sector will do well. So he can remain invested. He can average at lower levels.
Okay, so long term, the defense sector is likely to do well, but today in numbers, we could see some margin pressure. That's the view coming in on Bharat Dynamics. But on that note, we'll take a very short break. Be right back with more of your queries to be answered on the other side.
Back, you're tuned into Buy Now Sell Now with me, Ankita Saxena, and with me is Kanishka Sarkar, and we're getting all your stock-related questions answered. The number is still flashing on top of your screens. Please start sending in your questions, and we'll resume with your questions then. Now, this question is coming in from Bharatwaj from Coimbatore. He says that he has EID Perry. He is a long-term investor. He wants to invest in it for the next 3 to 5 years. Keeping that ethanol production in focus, how the prices of ethanol and ethanol production. He wants to know if EID Perry is a good stock to hold, or should he be shifting out of EID Perry to some other name? Shaina, what would be your suggestion?
Yeah, he can continue to hold EID Perry. I believe that while the ethanol production and ethanol prices are expected to remain stable, I think EID Perry also has it's into multiple segments, and both of them are doing well. I believe even the quarter numbers that came out on top line, they were a bit decent, flattish about 1.5%, but they did much better in terms of the profitability. So if the investor is holding for the medium to longer term, I think he can continue to hold.
Okay, so that's the view on EID Perry. But moving on, we have another query coming on defense. Now, Lakshmikant, let me come to you. Shaina already told us what her long-term view is for the defense pack. Now, this is a particular query on HAL. This viewer has bought 100 shares at a price of 4,700 rupees. He wants to know, can he buy the dip to accumulate more? What is your view, on HAL specifically, given it's going to report its results also, and sequentially is likely to going to be a weak quarter?
For longer term basis, the stock is looking fine, but for with respect to swing trade or trading perspective, now this stock is hovering near its 200 DMA levels, near the zone of 4,300. So that would be the immediate support. And yesterday, this stock has seen mild selling pressure, and now it has given breakdown from its previous swing low of 4,400. So if it breaks the levels of 4,300, so then we could see further downward move in this stock toward the levels of 4,150 to 4,100. So that would be the next support if if we get a decisive breakdown below the levels of 4,300. However, if it's able to maintain its support of 4,300, then after we could see a pullback move in this stock toward the levels of 4,600. So if it want to do a swing trade, so I think he should avoid this stock for the time being. And when it approaches the levels of 4,100 to 150, that would be the upcoming support. So I think that would be the good level for making new entry in this stock.
So that's the view coming in on HAL, but let's move on to the next question. This one's coming from a senior citizen his name is Ekam Bare. He's writing in from Hyderabad. He says that he's holding 200 shares of PFC at a buying price of 460 rupees. He wants to know if he can start adding as it is breaking its resistance level. Lakshmikant, let me come to you only, or he wants to suggest the levels at which he can be adding more of PFC.
See, PFC has seen a strong rebound after taking support from the levels of 400, and then after it has found bullish belt hold candlestick pattern. But in today's sessions, it has tested its 200 DMA, which is placed around the levels of 425. So that would be the strong hurdle for the PFC. But once it will give breakthrough above the levels of 425, then after we could see acceleration in the buying momentum, which could push it higher toward the levels of 455 to 460. I think he should wait for this breakthrough of the levels of 425. Once it conquered this level, then after he can take entry in this stock.
Okay, so that's the view on PFC. Shaina, now let me come to you. We have a viewer who's asking about this is Jeetu writing. He wants to know your view on Praj industry. Do you think he should accumulate more at the current levels given the kind of fall that we have seen today after a disappointing set of numbers that it reported yesterday?
See, well, it's a small cap stock. Valuations are expensive. Numbers were very disappointing, and we have started seeing the correction that has kicked in. So I would believe it is better not to enter into Praj. So it is better to avoid.
All right, so an avoid call coming in on Praj Industries, and Praj is down and out in trade today as well on the back of results. But let's move on to the next counter. This is Ignatius who's writing in from Kolkata. He has 100 stocks of HDFC Bank. He's bought at a buying price of 1,764. He's been holding it for the last 1 year. He wants to know if he can hold it for the next 2 years. What are the fundamentals for a long-term period? Shahina, let me come to you for HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, HDFC, both consensus calls as far as the large cap banks are concerned. What is your view?
Yeah, so definitely he can continue to hold for the next 2 years. After a couple of years, we are starting to see the valuations of HDFC Bank good, as well as in terms of the merger. Now I think the balance sheet is in a much stronger position. In fact, he can hold, and if he wants to add, he can add at at the declines, maybe somewhere close to about 1,880 or 1,900. He can even add further.
Okay, so that's the view in the banking space. But moving on, we have another query coming from Praveen, who's writing to us from Bangalore. Now, this is in the public sector space. He's planning to buy 50 shares of ONGC and Coal India for a long term. So, what is your view on these two stocks, Shaina?
Yeah, so ONGC, I would say it is, the numbers are to be out soon. I would say it's better to avoid because there's a lot of volatility in the oil prices. They have been soft actually, and we really don't know how the tariffs will work out for India in terms of oil exports. Domestically, of course, ONGC should do well over the longer term, especially you have ONGC and HPCL together. But I would say it's better not to get into that sector as of now. As far as Coal India is going, if you are looking at a high dividend play, then yes, Coal India will continue to do well. They are trying to improve their margins and revenues by increasing production. So if you want to add Coal India, you could look to add it, but ONGC I would avoid.
An avoid call coming in ONGC and Coal India. Perhaps if you're interested, you could be adding it for the longer term. But let me come to the next question. This is Manish Kala who's writing in from Mumbai. He says he wants to invest long term. He has 1 lakh rupees to invest in in Bajaj Finance. He wants your suggestion if it's a good investment for the next 1 year, and at what rate should he be buying it? Lakshmikant, let me come to you for this one. Bajaj Finance, are these the good levels to enter for the next 1 year?
In today's session, Bajaj Finance has given breakdown from its key support levels of 665, 865, and that breakdown has come with the formation of bearish candle. So I think some more correction could be possible in this stock toward the levels of 825 to 820, where it's 200 DMA is placed. So I think that would be the upcoming level for the Bajaj Finance. And once it retested its 200 DMA around the zone of 825 to 820, and then after if it made if it will make any revival kind of pattern or reversal kind of pattern, then after we suggest to take long in this stock for the medium term or short term.
Okay, so that's the outlook for Bajaj Finance. But moving on to the next query then, this is Pratiksha writing from Muscat. She's been holding Jindal Saw with a loss of 25% at the moment. She says she can continue to hold for another 12 months. But what's the target price that she should look at? Or should she sell at the current juncture and buy some other stocks? If so, what should they be? Lakshmikant, if you could help us with some suggestions if she must sell.
See, Jindal saw still trading in the downtrend. Whenever it comes near the levels of 260, then after it has faced a strong resistance, and then it has started making lower tops and lower bottom. Now it is approaching toward its previous swing low of 199. So any decisive breach below this level could induce more selling pressure, and at that time it could slip lower toward the levels of 165. Better to skip from this stock for taking long. Rather, if he can invest in the other stock like in the PSU banks. Yesterday we have seen upside breakthrough in most of the PSU banks, and even most of the banks still trading near above its 200 DMA levels. So I think Punjab National Bank and Bank of Baroda would be the comparable good bet if we compare from the Jindal Saw, from where we can fetch good amount of return in the upcoming days.
So that's the view coming in. Moving on to the next question by Thomas George, who's writing in from Amsterdam. He says that he has 1,000 shares of United Spirits. He's bought it at a buying price of 1,180 rupees. He wants to know what should he do now. Shaina, let me come to you for United Spirits. What do you see for? He's not given us a time frame, but maybe for the next 1 year, what do you see for United Spirits? He's clearly sitting at he is sitting on a bit of a profit there, but from a 1 year's perspective, is it a good hold?
I would say it's better to take your, profits, whatever little he has, off the table, and shift to some other sector. While United Spirits, is benefiting from the tariffs with we have the, FTA with UK, but at the same time, I think in terms of volumes, it is going to be impacted by the, India only type of policy that the government of India is putting in for this space. So I would say if you wants to get into another alcohol stock, that is fine. But otherwise, I would say it is take your money off the profit, take your money off the table for this stock.
Okay, so that's the view on United Spirits. But moving on to the auto sector now. Lakshmikant, let me come to you for this one. This is Jayesh writing from Surat. He's been holding 1,000 shares of Tata Motors. He wants to know whether it's a good strategy to sell his current portfolio in Tata Motors at the current price and buy later when the stock hits that 600 level. What would your advice be?
We know that our auto sectors has seen double bottom breakout in prior day sessions, and if you look at the overall strength in the auto sector, so that sector could outperform to the benchmark index also. But if we talk about specifically about Tata Motor, so it is the underperformer if we compare from the relative strength to the auto sector. So overall trend is still on the bearish side. However, in yesterday's session, it has got some pullback move, but until it will get the breakthrough of the levels of 700 June, where it could face a strong resistance. I think we will remain tentative in this stock, and if it reaches the levels of 625, then further correction is possible in Tata Motor toward the levels of 600 to 580 zone. So if we want to buy near the levels of 580 to 600, so I think that would be the appropriate level, and from where if we could see some sort of revival in the upcoming sessions, and once it will clear the hurdle of 700, then after this stock could see fresh buying momentum on the upside.
On Tata Motors, but with that, it's time for us to slip into a short break. Don't go anywhere. After the break, we'll keep answering your questions. Stay tuned.
Hi there, welcome back to ET Now. You're watching Buy Now, Sell Now with me, Kanishka Sarkar and Ankita Saxena, a show where we are taking all your stock-specific queries with our experts. So let's get back to all the queries then, and this one is coming on iRadar. Our viewer Srikantan is writing from Chennai. He wants to know, Lakshmikant, your view on iRadar. He has 1460 shares at a price of 167 rupees. He wants to know at this juncture, what should he be doing? Should he sell average or wait for some upside there?
I think one should wait for the upside till you hold up the levels of 135. So that would be the strong support for the ADA, and from where we could see some formation of double bottom. And from there, if we see any kind of revival with the formation of bullish candle, then a bounce back move could be possible in the stock toward the levels of 162 to 165. So that would be the zone for the resistance for this stock. So that would be the point from where we can exit it.
The view coming in iRadar, but let's move on to the next question. And in fact, this stock has been a lot of viewers have been asking about this stock, and that is Suresh is sending in from Maharashtra. He's talking about BSE. He has 100 shares that he's bought at a buying price of 2,718 rupees. He wants to know if he can hold it for another month. Firstly, Lakshmikant, I'll come to you. Another month, is that really enough to be holding BSE for? Because clearly he's bought it at a very high pricing, and obviously he's sitting at a loss right now. Enough to recover that loss, firstly, and then I'll come to you, Shaina, on a fundamental view of BSE, because this is one of the most asked stocks, and from the capital market team, because BSE has also run up quite a bit in terms of valuation. How does it look to you? And in the long run, how would BSE hold up? But first, Lakshmikant, let me come to you for a 1 month view.
See, for the last 4 to 5 weeks, this stock has been moving in the sideways range. On the upper side, it has been facing resistance from its 50 DMA, which is placed around the level of 2610, while on the downside, it has a support of 2280. So, for a fresh buying momentum, which could trigger once it surpasses the levels of 2610, then after we could see further positive momentum in this stock. Contrary to this, if it break the levels of 2280, then further correction is possible, and in that case it could slip lower toward the levels of 2150 to 2100 zone. So that would be the levels which he need to be recall if we'll get the breakthrough or breakdown.
So let me come to you for your view or fundamental view on BSE. What do you see in the long term, say from 1 or 2 years perspective? What is the kind of upside that you see for BSE? Actually, that should be the question, because these stocks have run up so much, but it is a theme that's intact, the capital markets theme.
Yeah, so basically, I personally also hold it. I've been holding it for quite some time. It's been a very strong performer. Going forward, I don't expect that sort of performance to continue over the next 2 to 3 years. What we have got in the last 3 4 years. At the same time, because valuations are a bit stretched. If you look 1 year forward, it's about 55 times 1 year forward PE, as well as in terms of certain government regulations that may come from SEBI. There could be some bit of softness, in their transaction fees for the shorter term. But with NSE listing, with NSDL listing, I think there is support. You have mutual funds which is pumping in money into the markets. So I would say, if you're a long-term investor, you continue to hold. And also the buying price that he's quoted, if he's bought it before the bonus, then still, we had the recent bonus issue, which was, which has actually it was 2:1. So basically, he would still have made money. So we really don't know what is his buying price in terms of come bonus. So we will, sort of advise that he continues to hold it for the long term.
Okay, so you could continue holding for the long term BSC, that's the view. But moving on, Shaina, another question for you. This is Sridhar writing from Hyderabad. He's planning to invest in Bharti Airtel for the long term. Do you think current levels are good to enter this particular stock?
It has delivered a decent set of numbers, and I think the acquisitions that it's making will enable it to actually give a decent growth over the medium to longer term. ARPUs also, we are expecting ARPUs to go up by about 7 to 10% over the next 2 to 3 years. So he can keep adding Bharti Airtel at dips and hold it for the medium to longer term.
All right, so that's the view coming in on Bharti Airtel. This is the next question is coming from Jerome from Chennai. Wants to know the long-term view on REC. Is it a good time to enter at current levels, and wants to accumulate REC as well? Lakshmikant, let me come to you first for the entry levels for REC, and then the long-term view with China.
For the entry level, I think he should wait for the levels of 408. So that would be the strong hurdle for this stock where its 100 DMA is also placed. While on the downside, the levels of 380 is having showing firm support for this stock, and many times it has retested this support, and but we have not seen any kind of breakdown. But for the fresh buying momentum, which we are expecting above the levels of 408, if it crosses this level, then it will be the good entry point from one can buy this REC Limited.
Entry levels to watch out for REC. But coming to you, Shahina, your view for the next 1 year on REC?
Valuations are very attractive. It's about 1.4 times price to book. So I would say that you can continue to hold REC, keep adding at dips because the overall power sector also there are a lot of projects that are coming up. I think REC will have enough projects to fund over the medium to longer term. It's a good dividend play, so you can keep adding and hold it for the long.
Okay, so you could consider holding REC for the long term. But moving on to the next query, this is okay. The viewer hasn't given their name, requesting all our viewers to send their names so that we can attribute your queries to you. So this question. In June last year, this viewer sold 400 shares of Hindustan Copper at a price of 257. He says the stock now looks attractive to him. Do you think he can buy another 400 shares now or wait for a further downfall? He's looking for a 12 to 15% profit, short term, long term. That's the kind of profit he's looking at. He's looking to hold. Lakshmikant, let me come to you for this one. Do you think entering at the current levels is good, or should we wait for a further downside on this one?
The overall structure is tilting toward its bearish side because this stock has slipped below its 200 and 100 DMA levels with the formation of multiple bearish candle. Support is seen near the levels of 230. So any decisive breakdown below this level could trigger more downward risk toward the levels of 225. So I think he should wait for taking entry in this stock, and if it slipped or it retested its previous swing low of 224 to 25, so I think again we have to revisit those levels again, and we need to check which kind of formation it will make during that kind, and then after we could recommend for taking this stock.
Uh, Coming to the next question then, and Lakshmikant, this one's also for you. This is Arjun who's writing in from Kolkata. He wanted to know the right time to invest in Exide and Amara Raja for the next 7 to 8 months time frame. Exide and Amara Raja, Lakshmikant, from as far as Amara Raja is concerned, there was some weakness in the chart for Amara Raja. But what would be your view for the next 7 to 8 months for both the counters?
First, we talk about Excite Industry. So, Excite Industry has seen sideways consolidation from last few sessions. But for if we look at the chart of last 3 days, it slipped below all its significant key moving averages. But it is also holding its previous support of 365 to 370. So I think from here on, risk reward ratio is favorable in Excite in India. So one can buy at current level also, and could see upside move toward the levels of 425 to 430 zone. So that would be the pullback move what we are expecting with the strong support which we have seen around the levels of 370. Now coming toward Amar Raja Battery. So yes, this stock has seen a downward trend after breaking down below the levels of 970, and then after we have seen consistent formation of lower tops and lower bottom. However, it has shown some pullback move after taking support from the levels of 918, but major upside move will be unlikely till it hold to the levels of 975 to 980. So from where it could see a strong resistance. So until we see any decisive move to this level, we will remain tentative in AR in Amar Raja battery. So I think he
Okay,
should go to buy. He can buy Excite Industry.
right. Okay, so that's the view on Excite and Amara Raja. But that's all the time that we have today on Buy Now, Sell Now. On that note, Shaina and Lakshmikant will let you go. Thank you so much for joining us today and answering all our queries. But with that, it's a wrap on this edition of Buy Now, Sell Now. We'll catch you tomorrow at same time, 11 a.m. So stay tuned.